the excitement level will rise again. The team you see on the left here is from Hong Kong, so they'll be coming out to play in front of their home fans. That's Max Woodward there. And to the right is Danushka Ranjan, captain of Sri Lanka. The big jersey is in place to run out from under, and here they come. See those two Kiwi mates there, number 4 Lee Jones and number 5 Ben Rimini. They even run out together. They've been walking to rugby since back near Cambridge in New Zealand's North Island since they were 5 years old. And here they are, a 31-year-old and a 32-year-old running out next to each other to play for their adopted country of Hong Kong against Sri Lanka. And that's a fantastic rugby story. I got to say, it's not necessarily my story. I read it in the South China Morning Post as a highlight today, and a fantastic effort by those two mates, as we say in rugby, to come along the long and bumpy path following the bouncing ball to be here in Hong Kong tonight. Gareth Rees, what do you think?
Well, huge excitement. The stadium's buzzing.
It really is. Paulo Duarte from Portugal, who's a very good discovery in the refereeing ranks this year, gets the game underway with Sri Lanka in the green. They took a bit of a thumping in their first game today, Sri Lanka, so they'll have ambitions to do a lot better because they want to be back on this field later in the year in this town for the Asian Sevens Championship. And so, of course, do Hong Kong, because at stake in that one will be perhaps a place at the Olympic Games or the Sevens World Cup, which will also be played in Asia. And so many people are saying it's the edge of World Sevens now coming from Asia. And look at the vigor in which these two teams are attacking the game.
Michael Coverdale with a big tackle for Hong Kong. Those are your current Asian champions. And it's all Sri Lanka at the moment.
Danushka Ranjan at halfway. He's the big sprinter for Sri Lanka. And getting away almost is Surya Bandara. Srinath Surya Bandara. There he is. And that's Danushka Ranjan, who made that official initial run and thrust.
Literally a tap tackle, Keith, on the bootlace. Otherwise, he was gone up that far sideline. Good start from the Sri Lankans. You said they weren't able to string much together. A lot of ball went to ground in their first match.
So Kato Lee is the scrum half for Hong Kong, and they get away to Rimini. And out to the cheers. Oh, look at that side pass from Rowan Vati. He's the guy that was good enough to play for the Barbarians Club against the British Lions here in 2013 on their way out to Australia. And here he goes. Look at the class of this man, Rowan Vati.
Well, very much the poster child for Hong Kong rugby. This is his 31st appearance here. Not always in a national team jersey. Came with his parents as a baby. But he just backed himself. Ball in one hand for a moment. Saw the gap. Took it. Hong Kong, to the delight of this crowd. They really are firing on all cylinders. They've received some extra funding. They've got elite sports status here from the Hong Kong Institute. And they've got a new coach in town since March. That's Paul John, and he's got to be happy with that, Keith.
So the kick is over at 7-0. And there is a very familiar figure. If you've been following the Sevens over the years, and always in the Scarlet, but of the Scarlet of Wales. That's Paul John. He's only been in town a couple of weeks. Next to him is Jared Groves, his assistant. And of course they were behind one of the biggest victories, can I say it, in Welsh rugby They won the World Cup in Dubai in 2009. No Welsh 15-a-side team has ever done that. And Paul John was the brilliant tactical and coach behind that. And he really has ambitions for Hong Kong now. Michael Coverdale, Rimini. It's tough. Sri Lanka not alert quick enough after the penalty was awarded. Here is Ben Rimini's try.
He's showing his experience here. As soon as the penalty's awarded, he knows they're in disarray on the Sri Lankan defense. Steps through one tackle. Clinical stuff, and they brought real energy to this, Hong Kong. They've upped the tempo, and Sri Lanka can't live with it at the moment.
And there's a nice looking kick. No goal though, and it's 12-0. And if you're looking for familiar figures, you see the gentleman there on the left. That is Peter Woods, 4 times winner of the Hong Kong Sevens, wearing the black colours of New Zealand. He also won the Melrose Sevens for the Bay of Plenty province of New Zealand. He is a real Seven stalwart, just taken on a 2-year contract with Sri Lanka. Got a bit of work to do, and he's not ashamed to say that, but working very hard with the team to make them see a new way. One of the things he was saying is that the Sri Lankan team by nature are very, shall we say, shy by comparison to some others. So they play almost in silence. He wants them to, I suppose, shout is the term, communicate more. And chasing through is Dansha Dayan. Max Woodward, the captain. You see, there's a lot of commitment from Sri Lanka. They're down by 12-0, but they're giving it heaps.
They are, but good teamwork. Vardy got back to clean up the kick, and then lots of support around Woodward when he went down. That's why they've been rewarded the penalty, and showing their experience here, slowing it down. They're very much in command, using the penalty for territory and a regrouping moment.
The other thing Peter Woods said when we had a lovely chat with him was that he has to really work hard at saying the names of the Sri Lankan team that he's picked. Some of them have a lot of letters. The number 1, for instance, we'll see him, Sudashan Muthutantri. And number 6 is Srinath Suryabandara. But he's got them sorted out a little bit more each day, and look at the commitment they're making from these guys. He's come off the bench, Anuruddha Wilwara. The 12 for Hong Kong is Yu Kamshing. And if you look at the setup of the teams from the Hong Kong point of view, it's always great to see that they have local national players playing in their squads. Here is Max Woodward, the captain. Big handoff. Couldn't get his pass away. Yes, he has. Jones, right in the corner by the corner flag. And it's a try for Ben Rimini. He gets 2.
The exhaustion there. Exceptional tackle here from the Sri Lanka. Didn't get the number, and he's taken out of the play. He was protesting, but meanwhile, Hong Kong keep the movement going. Lots of support at the contact area, and then simple hands gets it done. Rimini for the brace. Keith, I must say, more than any other team, Hong Kong does know how to feed off this crowd. That one pulled across the front. Last year they got all the way to the final, but undone by the Japanese. But great scenes here, and the crowd really into it.
So they've scored 3 good tries, 1 conversion. They lead Sri Lanka at half-time by 17-0.
chat, what are they doing? They're chopping back all the time, or what else are they doing? They're kicking. Have patience in our deep. Let's make our chops, and let's get numbers on our feet. Let's be wary of that kicking behind. Kick-off's good, boys. Set piece really good as well. Let's just up it now. We can have a little dip of this contact area. If they want to fly
That's
at us,
Jevon Groves. Here's Paul John.
They hold a little bit and maybe get a little bit closer. We'll get outside them, okay? Right. Let's step up again now. Let's step up, okay? We have to not let people score against us now. Right, we keep them out. We keep them out and we score again. We've got to have that hardness about us. Okay? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, lads. Defense again. Working on the inside. Solid deep.
The Sri Lankan coach, when he was in New Zealand, universally known as Woodsy. And great to see him here and doing his very best. He's only been in the job a little over, well, I think it was halfway through March. He arrived, he took the team down to Bangkok, I think it was. They played a tournament there, they had a couple of good wins, and it took a very good team to knock them out. So he gave them what he called a pass mark. But this is a different level. It's a higher level for his team. Referee Duarte from Portugal begins the second half. Oh, there is a kick that's been allowed to run and run.
Beautiful left foot. That's the experience. Sri Lanka left that corner open and he rolled it in there immaculately. You mentioned Paul John, the new head coach here. The Welsh Mafia has been very much in charge. The last three coaches, Di Rees, who's now director at the Hong Kong Institute, and Gareth Baber, of course, led this program, is now gone and is coaching the mighty Fijians. And we'll see them later on tonight under Gareth Baber's leadership.
And the deputy here, you saw him at halftime, Jevon Groves. And there's a try for Max Woodward. The pressure continues to come, and Max Woodward leading the way with, I think that's his third here this, no, it's his first here this weekend.
Another man with Welsh connections, having studied at Cardiff Uni and played in Wales. Again, spots the opportunity and knows with his size, as long as he keeps that ball tight, rides the tacklers, his momentum takes him forward.
And the tackler attempting was Jason Dissanayake. Rimini's kick, very good indeed. 22-0 now.
It's worth mentioning this qualifying tournament is to get into the HSBC Sevens World Series as a core team next season. So when we get down to that final, it's everything on the line. 4 pools here. The first and second teams will go through, as well as a couple of best third place teams. So everything on the line at the moment.
Yes, and this is the last game today here on day one from the qualifying series. So very cleverly the organisers have left the Hong Kong game to last, but as a further treat, the women's final of the women's qualifying series is next, and then all the top 16 teams of the men's HSBC Sevens series, the South Africans, the English team, the Fijians and New Zealanders, etc., etc. They come out and play one round, 8 more games. It's a really good first day's program they've got here. And we've had a band playing the loudest rock music you've ever heard in your life. Creedence Clearwater Revived was their name. They were playing the covers of the great band's hits. Had the crowd rocking.
Sri Lanka looking for their own revival here. They've got a lot of work to do. Credit the Hong Kong defense, but they really haven't been able to find the edges, and indeed they're going over the top with the boot. Will that pay off?
Now that's Fazil Marija. He's one of the vets of their team. He's been coming here for about a decade. And that's the second time in this game I think he's kicked it away. So they might have a look at that.
Yeah, and that just shows the efficiency from Hong Kong. Of course, Sri Lanka team has been coming here for many, many years, most of the 40 years, in fact, as an Asian Pacific Rim tournament as this started down here in Hong Kong. Cathay Pacific HSBC event here. It's still the pinnacle, still the gold standard of sevens events.
So on comes number 10, Jamie Hood. He got a special shout. And number 11, Jason James. Now, if you watch the first game, he came on with about 9 seconds to go. He threw the ball in beautifully. He took the line-out ball from his jumper and made a beautiful pass, and the other guy kicked it out, ended the game. So here we go. He's got a little bit more time in the game now, and he's passed the back line away very nicely to start another attack for Hong Kong. Jamie Hood, who's a popular player here. He wants to have a little show on his own, so that's fine. Cleared away by Meacham, another expat Kiwi in the lineup. And now it's with Chris Mays. And once again, here comes Woodward. He gets 2. Crowd is really into this, and as you pointed out, Gareth Rees, the Hong Kong players are feeding off this.
And very much about getting a rhythm. Wisely, Paul John's got the subs on, but not just to rest the legs. They're also playing, they're all having a touch, feeling the atmosphere and building the confidence and the rhythm as they lead in to the crucial matches tomorrow. Everyone getting a touch, the whole bench is in there. That's Chris Mays with the offload. And the captain, Max Woodward, runs it through.
Earlier today, Hong Kong beaten Namibia by 22-7. And this one has now crept up to 31-0. So they've got pretty good point production, the Hong Kong team. Sadly, for all the effort that have been put in on the other side by Sri Lanka, they haven't bothered the scorer yet. They lost their first game this morning, 38-0. But that doesn't mean to say, in the true sense of the rugby game, they don't stop trying. And in fact, I've always said there's honour if you play your backside off and you score a 0. It's a rugby score, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen it. We saw it early with Guyana getting a late score just to show that they belong here. Some subs coming on the field. This is, of course, Hong Kong's 6th attempt at trying to become a core team. They've been oh so close over the years.
Okay, boys, I'll give you the mark. I'll give you the mark here. Come on. Step back, step back, step back. There's the mark. Come on. Crouch. Line. Set. Steady.
Earlier this month, Hong Kong played Sri Lanka in Borneo in that tournament I was telling you about. And they beat them 31-0. That's the score that's on the board here at the moment. So Sri Lanka doing about the same, and well, the same for Hong Kong as well. But with 2 minutes to play, there could be more points coming for the men in red. This time, Meacham.
Ball just knocked forward in the tackle.
Boys, come on. Keep it steady before the ball is in, okay? Keep it steady before the ball is in. Crouch. Line. Set.
So full of ambition, they run it out from their danger zone. He's going to go all the way. Fantastic run by Arundra Wilwara. Arundra Wilwara proves that you don't always finish with 0.
You can't run much further in this stadium than he's just done. From behind his own line, he's fended off the Hong Kong defender. Look at that form. As you said, playing for pride, showing his little moment here in the big stadium.
So there will be a restart with just seconds remaining. The massive sound of the siren here, I think, is the loudest siren I've ever heard in rugby. Signals to everybody that time is up, but The referee says time for a restart. Let's see what the attitude of the Hong Kong players are. It's just over the sideline from Hood, and they have scored another very fine victory. The first one was 22-7 over Namibia. This one is 31-5 over Sri Lanka.